Okay, so good morning. We're doing another interview today with James and Virag, who are in Hungary. So let's hope the internet works. I think it's working there better than it is for us here. Um, and they're going to say a little bit about their life and story, and hopefully some things which we can pick up about how we live following Jesus. So, James and Virag, first of all, thank you so much for agreeing to do this. And we haven't really spoken too much about what's coming up.
Thanks, Wes. It's nice to see you.
Oh, it's lovely. And first of all, I just wondered, I know you from All Saints, but obviously you had a life before All Saints. And I wondered if you perhaps to say a little bit about what life was like before and how you met, and all of that would be amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we met when I was at university in Cardiff, and we met at church. And
we were very young.
Well, relatively young, in our 20s. Yeah.
Young.
Yeah, and when I met Virag, she didn't speak much English, so that was one of us, but we overcame that.
Yeah.
And also, you weren't really a Christian at that time.
That's right. Yeah. I kind of was searching for God, to be honest, and I think I really needed James in my life to know him a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're kind of going to church each week, just searching? Is that?
So when I was a child, I went to church like a good little girl going to church, but my parents weren't followers, they weren't Christian, but my grandparents were. And I kind of knew someone is there, and I just needed to know who is it to England. I prayed on my own, but obviously I didn't know what's Christian life. But I went because I felt I have peace in there and in the community. Yeah, and I just I needed people to help me to know about him more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, growing up in a village, going to a traditional church, and then there was a big kind of shock for me when I moved to the city to get to university, and then went to a different church, and kind of opened my eyes a bit about how big, how great God is, and that actually I don't know everything.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think also, because I experienced this, where you're brought up in a Christian family and you sort of run with it, but when you leave home, you've suddenly got to make a decision, is this my kind of culture and my upbringing, or is this actually something I actively want to follow, which is quite a change.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. And for me, growing up, I didn't actually have any Christian friends. So all my friends from school weren't Christian, and there weren't any kids at the church. Yeah. So yeah, suddenly to be around Christians my age when I went to uni was like amazing. And yeah, I was like, could push in further, pushing nearer to God.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, have I got this the right way around? You got married before you came to Bath? Is that?
Yes, that's right.
So what brought you to Bath?
Jobs, really. Yeah, we both found jobs there, because this was just after the recession and stuff, and we were searching for a church, and we settled in All Saints. But we didn't really get to know that many people until our son Luke was born.
Yeah,
we were kind of in and out people.
Yeah. So Luke was born in 2013. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, and yeah. So when he was a few months old, he had a brain tumor diagnosed. So that obviously turned everything upside down.
Yeah. Which is a little bit of an understatement almost, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. So he had a kind of roller coaster few years, and then passed away in 2017.
Yeah.
But obviously during that time, a lot happened to us, and our faith really developed, and you know, we didn't turn away from God. We really turned towards God, and He was there.
He was the only choice, really. And you know, during the time in the hospital, really helped us realize what community means, how really they can help practically and praying for us. But obviously, it wasn't enough. We really needed our own faith to help to go through for this.
Yeah. But yeah, so many people from All Saints, you know, people that we knew, people that we didn't really know, but they were really just supporting us and helping us, and it was amazing to know.
Yeah. So it was really, I remember, because I've read your book, Virag, and I remember you talking within that about like a conscious decision, right? You know, to turn to Jesus, which in very tough, tough circumstances, kind of to turn, which is so difficult. I think it'd be fair to say that the blessing of Luke for other people, even in horrible circumstances for you, but also your reaction to it. I remember Luke's funeral and being profoundly moved by it. I think like the hundreds there, he was very special, wasn't he? Mm-hmm. He was very special. Oh, my internet.
Definitely, yes. You know, we sort of had to plan it, and you know, I'm sure nobody likes planning a funeral, but yeah, we just wanted to put in the elements that we wanted and to really just make it personal to us and our family, and so that's what we did. And we had friends going who weren't Christians, and they said, you know, they felt an amazing atmosphere in the church during that.
Yeah, and they just felt the love in there, and how much they were supporting us and just supporting each other as well on that day. So it really meant a lot for them.
Yeah, the presence of God, no doubt. Yeah.
And through that, Virag, you've written 2 books. Would you like to tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, so it really helped me to express my feelings, to written down. And it's amazing how a little child could teach me, you know, to believe in God and help me to feel Him closer. And I just really wanted to share our story, that how God worked in our life and in His life, even when we knew that He's going to die. And I just wanted to share with people that, you know, don't need to be afraid if you believe in Him and accept Him in your life. It's really, really a big thing. And then we had Sophie when Luki died, so she was about 5 months old. And obviously I was thinking, gosh, she's going to grow up, and she needs to know about her brother, as well as what does it mean that he's not around and she can't play with him. And obviously Luki's friends were asking questions, where is he, why can't they play with him, and why he's not in the play groups. And you know, it was tough on the parents that they needed to explain to their children. And I just felt like, wow, one day I have to explain to Sophie. And I haven't seen many books about that, just like kind of animal explanations. And I just wanted to create this book about death. And I think it's a safe book for children as well as parents, and illustrated by lots of children's drawings. And it's amazing how they see heaven. So it's a really nice communication between the children as well as they're looking at the book and the pictures.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you. What's your daughter doing now? I'm just curious.
Yeah, we don't know really. Hopefully she's within 100 meters or so of us. Yeah.
I'm not sure what mine are doing either, but anyway.
Yeah.
Now I've already given the game away a little bit. You're in Hungary now, living in Hungary.
Yes,
back to Hungary.
Right.
What's that about?
Yeah.
Well, now it's time for James to learn Hungarian.
Well, actually, Virag, I've scribbled down a few words, and I thought if we ask James these and let's see if he knows them, and I thought I'll start with one or two obvious ones. Oh, Virag, Virag's enjoying this. James is less so. How about the word milk?
Tay.
Is that good? That's good.
Yeah.
What about bowl?
Oh dear, I always get this wrong. La pastanya?
Not really.
Not really.
No, that's the soup.
That's
bowl.
a soup bowl. Oh no.
I love how Virag said not really, meaning no.
Yeah.
How about here's a challenging one. Bald.
Copas.
Copas. Oh, I quite like the sound of that. How is he doing how's he doing the Hungarian, Virag?
Well, I'm really proud of him. But sometimes
Slightly broken up.
how he's getting things on my way. Yeah. I heard a little story from the other day.
Oh, the bees.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just went out on a walk the other day, and we were in the middle of nowhere, and suddenly a car arrived, and he stopped and said, "Oh, do you know that there's bees here?" But he meant like he's a beekeeper and there's lots of hives, so watch out. But I was just, we were right by a tree with some bees. So I said, "Yeah, I can hear them." But then Virag was in the background, like laughing about this.
You get multiple stings.
No, we survived.
So why are you out in Hungary now? I know Virag's from Hungary, but you're living here permanently. But you feel you've been called to be there.
That's right. Yeah, we just felt a kind of increasing sense of God calling us here to this area, because there's not a lot of Christians here, not a lot of outreach or evangelism or anything, and the church community is also not the same as in All Saints, where there's so much going on and so many opportunities to get involved and to help each other. And so really we felt, okay, this is the right time for us to move here and to really just spread the gospel in a new way that's not been done here, and try to reach people that have never heard it, really.
Yeah, and I think it's really important for the younger generation, because kids are, they are on their device and all day just like watching telly or whatever. And if there are lots of things that actually they could do and help other people, rather than thinking of themselves.
Yeah.
So I think it's time for us to step in and kind of do something.
Brilliant. Yeah.
And there's a couple of churches here in the village and in the kind of nearby towns, but it's mostly just older people and very traditional service. And if people just think that that's what church is and that's what God is, just reading all these old words, and they're completely missing the picture of what Jesus did for us.
Yeah. So almost come full circle from what you said with your backgrounds of being in a very traditional place and not realizing, kind of following Jesus about a relationship, etc.
Yeah.
Full circle for you guys. And what things? Because I know some of this. I'm plugging this. But what sort of things have you got in mind coming up to really kind of share the good news of Jesus?
Yeah. Well, at the moment, we're in the middle of a kind of online Bible study, which is just a kind of lockdown experiment, really, where we've been posting a study of a chapter of Mark every day online for people to go and watch a video that our friends made and hopefully enter into some kind of discussion and thing going on. In the future, we've got different ideas we need to kind of lock down on, but perhaps reaching out for different communities around here, and a summer camp possibly, and possibly, I mean, these are all possibles. I don't want to commit to anything.
Yeah, we're not going to hold you to it, James.
Obviously, we've got to see what
Just
works.
get my pen out.
Possibly some kind of evening worship thing in a new way.
Brilliant. What things could we be doing?
So in the town, opportunities to come to some sort of different. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of help with like voluntary things, and take out what is in there, what's the goodness in them, and to show love and selfless care. I think it's really important for them to learn rather than receive something back.
Yeah, it's a really important point. What things can we be doing to support you and also to pray for you? What ways?
Yeah, well, just obviously praying that we have opportunities to talk to people and to grow our relationships with people. I mean, so far that's coming on quite well because it's a much more social, being in the UK, I think. It's much more interrelational and friendly. But yeah, just that people will be open to hearing what we're going to say. Because people tend to be quite negative about things, and anytime when we have an idea and we're kind of talking to people, they kind of think of all the negatives and to not to get too down with all the negatives, really. And I do feel that we've been under kind of spiritual attack and stuff, and just things are harder than they need to be, and we feel down more often than I did in the UK. So just really keep on top of that.
Okay, thank you. Just to conclude, really thinking about all the experiences you've had, the highs and the lows, what just some practical advice you'd give to perhaps teenagers now, especially in Toast and Rendezvous, what things you'd say?
I would say really value the friendships that you have in Toast and Rendezvous, because as I mentioned, I didn't have that growing up, and I can see how great it is for youth here and for other youth that I know to have Christian friends, and also just to really stick to your principles, like all throughout life, not just in the teenage years. There's difficult times when you've got to make decisions, and perhaps there's like peer pressure, but just to really know what you believe and to stick to it. In Joshua 24, when Joshua says, either follow the Lord, the God, or follow these, pagan gods. But as for me and my house, we will follow the Lord. It's like, you make your own decision, but me, I know what I'm doing.
Brilliant. Yeah. Anything you'd like to add to that, Virag?
Just don't be afraid to turn to God. Anytime you think about a decision to make, obviously talk to your friend, but it's really important to talk to God and ask his directions.
Brilliant. Like a lot of us over here in Bath in the UK, we're praying for you guys. You are inspirational. I don't use that word lightly. But thank you so much for doing this interview, and we really appreciate it.
Thanks, Fez.
Thank you.